The concept of God resting on the seventh day after creation and the observance of the Sabbath is a well-established idea in Judaism and Christianity. Rooted in the Bible, here is an exploration of how this concept is viewed in these traditions and how it differs from Islamic teachings. Biblical perspective, Judaism and Christianity, 1. Creation and Sabbath in the Bible. Genesis 2 verses 2-3, By the seventh day God had finished the work he had been doing, so on the seventh day he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. The Sabbath, Shabbat in Hebrew, is instituted as a day of rest in the Ten Commandments, Exodus 20. 8-11, where God commands the Israelites to observe the seventh day as a day of rest in commemoration of God's rest after creation. 2. Theological significance. Rest. The concept of God resting is interpreted in various ways, often seen as a cessation of creative activity rather than physical rest. As God is omnipotent and does not require rest, Sabbath observance. The Sabbath is a central aspect of Jewish and Christian practice, a time for rest, worship, and reflection. Islamic perspective. 1. Creation in the Quran. The Quran also mentions the creation of the heavens and the earth in 6 days, or periods. Surah Al-Araf, 7:54. Indeed, your Lord is Allah, who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days and then established himself above the throne. Surah Kahf, 50:38. And we did certainly create the heavens and earth and what is between them in 6 days, and there touched us no weariness. 2. No concept of divine rest in Islam. God, Allah, does not experience fatigue or the need to rest. The Quran explicitly denies that God rested after creation. Surah Kahf, 50:38, emphasizes that God did not experience any weariness after creating the heavens and the earth. The Islamic view is that God's act of creation and sustenance is ongoing and effortless. 3. Weekly day of congregational prayer. Friday, Jumu'ah. While Islam does not have a Sabbath equivalent in terms of rest, Friday is considered a special day for congregational prayer and communal worship. Muslims gather for the Jumu'ah prayer, but this day is not characterized by rest from work or physical cessation of activities. Surah Al-Jumu'ah, 62:9-10. O you who have believed, when the adhan is called for the prayer on the day of Jumu'ah, Friday, then proceed to the remembrance of Allah and leave trade, that is better for you, if you only knew. And when the prayer has been concluded, disperse within the land and seek from the bounty of Allah, and remember Allah often that you may succeed. Summary of differences. 1. Rest after creation. Biblical view. God rested on the seventh day after creating the world in 6 days. This rest is commemorated by the Sabbath, a day of rest and worship. Islamic view. God created the world in 6 days but did not rest. The concept of divine rest is absent in Islamic theology, as God is beyond fatigue and does not require rest. 2. Weekly observance. Judaism and Christianity. The Sabbath, Saturday for Jews, Sunday for most Christians, is a day of rest and worship, rooted in the creation narrative. Islam, Friday is a special day for congregational prayer, Jumu'ah, but it is not a day of rest. The emphasis is on communal worship rather than physical rest. Conclusion. The concept of the Sabbath and divine rest is central to Jewish and Christian traditions, based on the biblical creation narrative. In contrast, Islamic teachings emphasize God's continuous and effortless act of creation, denying any need for rest. Friday holds special significance in Islam for communal prayer, but it does not serve as a day of rest analogous to the Sabbath. These differences highlight the distinct theological frameworks within which each religion operates.